I feel like I haven't seen anyone on this app talk about how hard it is to be unattractive. Like, being unattractive is so depressing. Like, that's the only way I can describe it. It's just really depressing. Like, for me, I feel like being unattractive has made my self-esteem, like, really low. It's made my self-worth really low. I don't get as many opportunities as other people get. And then just, like, the whole relationship factor piece to it. Like, I really, really want to be in a relationship. Like, more than anything in the world. That's the one thing that's been missing from my life for a really long time. And I just feel like it's never going to happen for me. One, because of where I live, but two, because I'm not, like, conventionally pretty. My body is not tea. Like, I just feel like I don't look good. And to just, like, carry that with you every single day is really hard. To feel like you're not worthy. It just sucks.
I know this is gonna sound mean, but I just need to rant for a minute. Do ugly guys have more confidence than hot men?
No.
Because why did I go out dancing last night and the only guys with the balls to come and chat me up were 2s and 3s? And I am not saying that I'm a perfect 10.
She didn't suddenly become unattractive. She just lost the audience.
Okay guys, so I saw this video on my For You page about a girl who was talking about how she's so sick of not being conventionally attractive in this world, and no matter what she does and who she gets married to or whatever, she'll never be conventionally attractive. So I just have a few opinions on that. I really hope nobody takes this the wrong way, but beauty and attractiveness is something that I've really obsessed over for the last probably 7-8 years of my life, and here are just things that I've noticed. So a couple years ago, I used to be friends with these two girls that were very, very beautiful, okay? Like, very conventionally attractive, both very different girls, very different styles and aesthetics, but definitely very attractive women. Now, being so close to these girls and being friends with them, I feel like I learnt so much from them, and I learnt so much about being attractive and, like, what that entails. And honestly, like, I just want to say, I know we get on these apps and it's so easy to open our phone and see all these beautifully, naturally looking women, but there's actually so much that happens behind the scenes when it comes to beauty. Like, one of the girls would literally wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, no matter what time she worked, no matter what time she slept, and she would wake up super early to wash her hair and then blow dry her hair using her $500 Dyson Airwrap. Like, some of these girls that you see actually put in so much work and effort into their looks, and maybe it looks natural and effortless, but honestly, majority of the time, it's not. Another thing that I want to say is, obviously, I'm not trying to say, like, you've got to be of a certain size to be attractive, but let's be real. There is a certain size that is more favorable in terms of being conventionally attractive, and what I noticed is two of these girls, they were both very small. One of them did not work out, however, when she ate whatever she wanted to eat, but she had very, very small portions, and portion control was a very big thing for her, and she just did that naturally, and she had just been brought up that way. So the other girl, she was a bit different. She was very athletic, she was very, like, fit, would go for runs every morning, and, like, even when the weather was shitty and cold, she would still, she would go out and go to these runs because she knew that these runs are the reason why she can go out and eat and drink and do all these things and still remain a small size and be fit. Now, like, I'm not trying to perpetuate any sort of, like, societal beauty standard here, but I am just saying, like, some of these girls that you're seeing actually put so much effort into themselves, and they invest a lot of time and they invest a lot of money into themselves to look good. Like, things like Botox, fillers, surgeries, these are very common, very, very common. Just because somebody's not admitting it on the internet, that doesn't mean that they're 100% natural. So don't just believe everything that you see on your screen.
The realization hits quietly. Fewer looks, shorter conversations, compliments that don't arrive. Men who used to linger now pass by without slowing down. And for the first time, the mirror doesn't echo what the attention once did. Because attraction, when borrowed from constant validation, feels permanent until the validation dries up.
If you're ever having a hard day, just remember, I've been cheated on. I've been cheated on. I don't have the beauty filter on, and these are my real eyes. And I've been cheated on. If you've been cheated on and you feel insecure, it's never about you. Because I've been cheated on. Surely it can't be about me. You might be thinking, well, maybe her personality sucks. No, unfortunately not. I'm hilarious and incredibly smart. And I got cheated on. And if you didn't get cheated on and you're not feeling insecure and you're just having a bad day, just remember, somebody had me. They were in a relationship with me. Wrapped around his fucking finger, I would have married this guy. Fumbled. Lost me for good. Forever. So you could be having the worst fucking day of your whole life. But you're not that guy. So it's not that bad. Unless you are that guy. And in which case, stop watching my videos and my Instagram stories and texting my family. You weird, weird little man. That's all. I'm gonna go cry. But I'm not that guy. So I won't cry too much.
For years, inflated feedback did the heavy lifting. Social media likes, orbiters, free attention from men with nothing to gain. That noise created a fantasy version of desirability, one propped up by thirst, not reality. When men recalibrated their standards and stopped handing out attention for free, the illusion collapsed.
I am not a hot woman. And I want to talk about some of my lived experiences that have shown for me that this is the truth. I'm making this video because I got this comment the other day, and I thought it was very interesting, and I've been pondering on it. And I know that what he is saying has a kernel of truth to it, but it also hasn't been my lived experience for most of my life. I will acknowledge that there's two things about me that make it so that I'm not auto-rejected immediately based off of my looks by a lot of people, and that is my skin color and the fact that I'm thin. But outside of that, I am not considered a super hot woman to the majority of people. That doesn't mean that people don't find me pretty. That doesn't mean that there aren't people that find me super attractive. But in terms of societal beauty standards, I am very much average. And I want to talk about the experiences in my life that have led me to understand this. And let me just say before I start this off, that even what you're seeing here, a lot of it is fake. This is a fake hairpiece. My bangs are fake. I have a big forehead and my hair is thinning because I just turned 30. I'm using minoxidil, but I'm still waiting to see results on that. This hair is real, but this hair is fake. And then even with this hair, I put my hair in rollers like every morning because my hair is just naturally very flat. On top of that, I'm wearing makeup. On top of that, I have a filter. This is a video of me without a filter. Now, I will end this with some of the positive things because there are some really positive things. And even without it, I'm showing you a video in very good lighting. When the lighting is worse, I actually look a lot worse. I have green veins under my eyes that are really hard to hide even with concealer. And even with all of that, I still look pretty average. The first reason I know this is because the majority of people that I found super hot, I've either been directly rejected or I've been the back burner option. And some people can say, well, it's because of your personality. But for a lot of these people, it was just based off of first impressions. They were very laissez-faire about me from the start. I've also noticed with many of these people, they wouldn't overlook certain things about me that they would overlook for other people that they've dated in the past. This one guy that I had a FWB relationship with, he didn't like my job, but then he ended up later dating a woman who was really, really hot, who had the same job as me. I've had chances with some very hot people, but I've just noticed that they tend to hold me to a much higher standard than people that they find like super, super hot. And the very conventionally attractive people who have dated me, it's been mostly because my personality has made the deal, which I'm not saying is a bad thing, but I understand people, and we all know those people who might have very bad character traits, might be egotistical, might be emotionally unavailable, but because they are so attractive and people feel so much of a magnetic lust towards them, they overlook all of those qualities. I know that I am not super hot because I am not somebody who people overlook bad character traits for. In the past, when I've had bad character traits, a lot of people would just drop me. The next reason is because of social media. It is just the truth that social media will tell you where you rank. I've gotten many, many butterface comments. I've gotten many 5-head comments. That's why I have this hairpiece right now. Back before I lost 20 pounds, I'd have guys comment and say that they would only me if they were at a bar and it was 3 a.m. and they had gotten drunk already. I know that if I made a TikTok saying, hey guys, I'm so pretty, there would be a smorgasbord of comments telling me I'm mid. And sure, there are a bunch of haters and stuff like that, but if you are a very, very conventionally attractive woman, those haters are going to be drowned out by all the women agreeing with you. The next reason I know, and I think this really cemented it for me, I'm bi, and so I dated a woman who very much fit conventional beauty standards. She was a lot of people's ideal physical type, both men's and women's. And dating her was a very humbling experience for me because it really showed me just the pure hierarchy of things and how people actually treat you when you are a super hot woman. Basically, everywhere we went, she got hit on multiple times and I would get ignored. People would trip over themselves to talk to her. The other thing was it didn't really matter what she wore. Like something that happens with me often is that I really don't get approached unless I actually dress up and put a lot of effort into my appearance. And I remember one time, it was actually my birthday, and I dressed up all nice and I was so excited to go out with her because she had decided this time to actually just wear like jeans and a t-shirt. She wasn't wearing makeup. She wasn't done up. And for months before that, we had just went out and she was always getting hit on. And so this time I was so happy because I had found this really cute outfit and I was just feeling myself so much. And then we were at this karaoke bar and I went to the bathroom real quick. When I came out of the bathroom, this guy was literally just sitting next to her asking for her number. And nobody complimented me or asked for my number that entire night. Not that I wanted them to, but you get the point. And it was that moment I realized, oh, she is hot enough that it doesn't matter what she wears. Unfortunately, if we go out together, she will always outshine me. Always. And it wasn't her fault. She was just a naturally beautiful woman, and that's okay. But I do think for me living in this state of delusion and pretending like these beauty standards don't exist and pretending like it isn't just the truth that she is a lot hotter than I am and that I am indeed average, it's doing myself a disservice. And the last reason I know this, and this is going to be an unfortunate reality, but I'm just being honest. It is true that my dating life is a lot better at 30 than it was at 21 or 25, but I do think that's because a lot of people settle. And when I say settle, not necessarily on personality, but definitely on looks. I've had a lot of guys specifically over the last couple years kind of try to come back and seriously date me. But a lot of the guys that have come back, and I'm just being honest, based off societal beauty standards, are less conventionally attractive than they were in the past. And so a lot of these guys would backburn me in the past, but now they're coming back. And as much as I can kind of have confidence about it, I know most likely the reason why. It's because I'm a woman who's managed to stay, relatively thin. I'm child free. I've taken care of my physical appearance for being 30, but I'm just simply too average looking to be impressive at 21 or 25 because there are so many attractive people in the dating pool who are single. So this is just a reality that I've had to grapple with. I'm never going to be the hot woman. Not that it so much matters now as I'm getting older, but although I do think that I can dress up and look pretty, I understand that there are certain benefits that I'm never going to be able to get. I understand that I'm not going to be the caliber of woman, physical appearance wise, that people will bend over backwards for. I understand that I'm not like my ex where she could just walk into a room and even with social skills going down, that people would find her hot enough that tons of people would consider her worth approaching. Because even with people being more shy, people still considered her worth approaching because she met the caliber to be considered a status symbol for people. And I'm not even saying that that's necessarily what I want, but I'm just being honest about where I know that I rank. That doesn't mean that tons of people don't find me attractive or pretty, but all I'm trying to say is that I know that I am not the hot woman. I never will be. I have to have a personality, unfortunately, but that is okay. That is just my experience. Let me know what you guys think. Bye.
That's when the coping starts. Men are intimidated. I'm focusing on myself. The dating pool is trash. Anything but the obvious truth. Attraction isn't self-declared. It's market-driven. And when demand changes, so does perceived value.
Men are not attractive anymore, and I'm not even talking about looks. It's the fact that so many of them are not healed, not self-aware, can't connect emotionally, stuck at surface.
Once again, just say the men that you dealing with. Everybody ain't like that. They're just like every woman don't beg. Every woman ain't no gold digger. I actually believe that it's women out there that actually want to be loved and not just want what another man got or something. A lot of y'all women ain't attractive, but y'all still let a man fuck. Y'all still give that man the time of the day. Once again, ain't nobody in this world that got their shit together and perfect. Everybody got something that they need to work on or they need to fix. You ain't just finna wake up and meet your Prince Charming tomorrow. Everybody come with flaws. That's what y'all missing. And this what I hate about this new generation of women. Y'all act like men can't go through shit in life. And y'all wonder why a lot of these men don't open up to y'all. This the reason why. I'd rather take a woman with flaws than take a woman that's already perfect. I can't deal with that shit. You too perfect for me. Cause guess what? I'm gonna make mistakes. I know that. And me and you ain't gonna never see eye to eye because you don't make mistakes. A lot of y'all women don't be here, but men still pursue y'all because we actually believe that we can help y'all. We don't judge y'all because what y'all went through in y'all past. We try to fix it.
What really stings isn't rejection, it's indifference. Being told no hurts, but being ignored humbles. Men aren't arguing. They aren't debating her worth. They're just not engaging. And silence delivers a verdict louder than insults ever could.
I want to address something that's been heavy on my mind for quite a while. My appearance and what I look like. I've said this a million times and I will defend it until I'm in the grave, that there are no filters on my videos. There's constant confusion about why I look different in person than in my videos. I want to make something very clear. I am aware that I'm not an attractive person. Sorry, I don't know why I'm fucking getting emotional over it. I'm aware that I'm not, like, aesthetically pleasing to look at or, like, photogenic. It's really easy to take a bad photo of me. I don't have the best side profile, which I've talked about and I've shown. Sorry. Ugh. Anyways. I don't know why I look different in person. I don't. Like, I film on the TikTok app with no filters. I'm just sitting here talking to my phone and this is what I look like. This is what I look like.
The brutal lesson? Attention wasn't proof of beauty, it was proof of availability.
Why do women get so annoyed when another woman walks in the room who is more beautiful than them? Let's talk about the psychology behind it. When a woman sees another woman who's more attractive, an internal mechanism gets highly triggered. Competition. It's not just about looks. Beauty represents attention, validation, and even the subconscious fear of being replaced. That's why the presence of a beautiful woman often feels like a threat. It shakes the security of those who tie their worth to how others perceive them. The comparison kicks in, and without realizing it, jealousy, rejection, or even passive aggression can surface. But here's the truth. Another woman's beauty doesn't take anything away from yours. A secure woman knows that. She doesn't compare. She doesn't compete. She complements. She knows her value is untouchable. The problem was never the other woman. The problem is the insecurity you carry inside. When you own your worth, another woman's shine or beauty does not dim yours. It only makes you shine harder. And remember this, there is going to be somebody prettier than you, taller than you, longer hair than you, bluer eyes than you. That is normal, but you have to be so secure and confident in yourself that the beauty of another woman, like I said, doesn't dim your own light.
The most uncomfortable part isn't the drop in attention. It's realizing how much of her confidence was outsourced. When compliments came easy, self-belief felt natural. But when men stopped over-validating, there was nothing underneath to fall back on. No surplus demand. No safety net of admiration. Just silence forcing an audit.
The sad reality for women, once we are not conventionally attractive, no one wants to help you. I'll give you an example. I was on a date and this lady had a really nasty fall in front of me. She was voluptuous. She was in her late 40s, Asian, and my heart broke. No one wanted to help her except for me. I ran to her. I picked her up. Until I picked her up, that's when my date next to me wanted to help her. 3 minutes later, the lovely ladies from Mecca Town Hall checked in on her as well. It shows that society doesn't really care about people anymore. And I hope that if you see someone fall over, regardless of their age, gender, or appearance, you should immediately respond, because that could be you or a family member in that situation.
And that's when resentment creeps in. Men are blamed for changing. Standards are labeled unrealistic. The world is accused of being unfair. But nothing changed except the rules of engagement. Men stopped inflating egos they had no stake in maintaining. They didn't lower her value, They simply stopped pretending it was higher than it was.
Girlfriend is beautiful, but I can guarantee you that when she looks in the mirror, she doesn't see beauty. She sees a defacing scar, and you allow and support your family in making that identifying feature of how they see her. By allowing your family to treat her that way, she is no longer, quote, your beautiful girlfriend. She is, quote, that freak with the scar that he brought over. A joke is not a joke if the subject of it is not laughing. You are such an asshole.
Because attraction isn't a feeling, it's a response. You don't announce it. You don't manifest it. You notice it in behavior. And when men stop responding, the message is clear even if no one says it out loud.
When was the moment you realize that you're not as hot as you think you are? I'll go first. For me, it was when my boyfriend at the time said, I don't think you're pretty, but I like that you're funny looking. And I was like, oh, well, so you think I'm funny? And he said no. How about you?
If that girl is insecure, it's going to look like one of three things. First, she's going to constantly seek outside validation, whether that's through social media, likes, or compliments from strangers. Secondly, she's going to always want to be part of the trend of what's going on. She always wants to fit in more than being an individual. And lastly, her personal opinion about herself is so low that she constantly needs somebody to boost her up just to feel good about herself.
This moment isn't about looks aging or trends shifting. It's about the collision between perceived value and actual demand. When the two finally meet, the result is humbling, and humbling feels like injustice to anyone who lived on borrowed praise.
One of the interesting things that happens when you're not conventionally attractive and have a lot of guy friends that aren't trying to impress you is that occasionally you get a glimpse behind the curtain and get to see how they really feel about women. So one night I'm hanging out with a group of guys and one of them had brought a friend and she was very cool, very pretty. So of course they're all immediately interested in her. But later that night I hear one of my buddies say to another one of the guys, I just need 5 minutes with her, bro. Just 5 minutes. That's all I need, bro. Like, you like this girl, you're interested in her, but all you have to offer is 5 minutes, and I'm sure they're going to be the best 5 minutes of her life. Like, what are we doing here?
So the realization lands hard. Confidence built on attention expires when the attention does. And once men stop playing along, reality doesn't negotiate, it simply moves on. And once men stopped overvaluing access, reality stepped in to do the accounting.
Less attractive women always get married before attractive women. And they're wanted by men more than attractive women. And this is the reason why. Attractive women scare men. And a lot of men think because she's very attractive, so a lot of men are around her. So they do not even try. She's less approachable in their opinion. And a lot of men have a misconception that the less attractive she is, the better she is. And she will think that he's the catch.
It's not cruelty, it's correction. When the spotlight moves on, what's left isn't hate, it's clarity.
Men stop playing by the rules, and now everyone's freaking out. Let's break down why silence has become the loudest move.